everybody, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We're your hosts, Kicker, the Chief of Cereal, and Sigilite of the FLG. And I'm Seth, the Mad Doctor, competitive correspondent, who definitely didn't cough during the intro. How you doing, Kicker?
I am doing jolly. I'm doing swell.
Did you do anything fun over the weekend?
I did. I went to Texas. I ate a lot of barbecue. I saw my friends, and we saw some amazing competitive 40K at its finest. Yes, it was. It was the Lone Star Open this past weekend. It was awesome. I mean, this venue, you can ask anyone. The venue is just, it's like it's designed for 40K or really any wargaming system, but it's just designed for a bunch of geeks to go there, have fun.
So you're telling me it has great air conditioning and air filtration?
Yeah. So here we are in the middle of the summer in Texas, and I was like, oh man, it's going to get hot in there. And no, it actually got cold in there, so much so that a guy come up, like I was wearing a jacket because I know I'm a wimp, right? But like another guy came up to me,
2% body fat, buddy.
Yeah, bro, shut up. But like another guy comes up to me, he's like, "Is it cold in here?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is definitely cold in here." The AC.
Meanwhile, the large men like me are like, yes, this is our environment.
This is your natural environment. Well, no, it was fun. I then got in the car and headed straight home, and have been scrambling to get ready for Cruise Hammer because that's next week. And yeah, I know, right? Doesn't stop. Just doesn't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. What have you been up to, Seth? Have you been painting? Have you been hobbying?
I did a little bit of hobbying, just some kind of random few models. But I did actually last week, and I went to an RTT while you guys were all off in Texas because my local play partner, Connor Benetti, he's moving away, and so this is kind of my last chance before he moved for the two of us to go have a day and do an RTT like we usually do. So we went over to Gigabytes in Atlanta and had a good time. I should have put this in the hobby progress notes. We ate at what externally looked like a very sketchy Korean restaurant, but internally was fantastic.
Well, how are your bowels right now? That's how you really.
They're fine. They were fine.
Good.
They were fine.
Wonderful.
I was like, I don't know, but like next morning, everything was fine, man. So it was great.
Perfect.
Highly recommend.
We need to remind our audience that this is a live show every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You could be watching us right now, seeing our beautiful faces, and more importantly, seeing our hobby progress. Yes, while Seth and I are total slackers this week, guess who's not a slacker? Our one and only tech priest, Dickie. Tech press. Oh, look. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that, guys.
Look at that.
Seth, describe our wonderful tech priest's artwork that he did.
Well, it appears to be yet another World Eater.
Yeah.
But this one is handling some sort of demonic-looking axe. And is that freehand I see there?
Oh, freehand.
Yeah, you like that? I had a lot of fun with this guy. He's my master of execution, actually.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Very, very well done, tech priest.
If Dickie wants to, I threw a last minute curveball at him in our Discord chat of my Korean restaurant adventures.
Okay. Is this? I thought this was going to be artwork here, hobby progress.
No, it is Connor and I. This is me documenting where we're going in case I died.
Okay,
it was great. Any negative opinions of that restaurant were completely blown away. It's like when we walked in. I mean, Connor is like a chef as his day job.
Okay,
so like when he tells me like this place is good,
it's legitimately good.
It's legitimately good. So I trusted him. I looked at the outside and I was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "It's great, man." I was like, "Okay."
I mean, that's what it's all about, man. It's not about what the outside; it's about what the inside. I think there's a thing that you say about that, right? The inside's what counts, or something.
You don't
right?
judge a book by its cover.
There we go. Yeah, one of those. Yeah. I'm a terrible American.
Ogres have layers.
There we go. Yes, ogres.
Yeah,
there wow.
We go. So yeah,
is that the before after photo?
That's the before. That's me being like, "Is this where we're going, bud?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because
so guys, it's important to tune in live because not only do you get these wonderful video assets here and photos and whatnot, visual elements to the show, but you get to jump into our chat. I know we got a bunch of people in the chat. Hi, chat. We missed you. We're happy to see you.
Chat. Now, Kicker, I would be remiss. While I was at this RTT, I ran into a couple fans of ours, and there was specifically one man that complained because he only listens to the audio forms of the podcast that he hates Grim After Dark. Because all they do is visual humor.
Oh, they do only do that.
He did ask that they specifically do that Seinfeld meme bit again where they describe everything. So I thought I'd mention
John and Danny and Grim After Dark have nothing but visual elements to help them get through their show. So
yeah, I mean,
sometimes not even that.
Something. Yeah. They got to have something to carry that show. All right. Anyway, Kicker. Let's let's get into the industry news. Let's get here when everyone
Do
wants
you
from
mind
us.
if I just say one last thing about random
Sure.
fans meeting us in the streets?
Oh
right.
yes, you got a lot of cereal.
This weekend, it was a 2-day event. So the Lone Star Open is just a 2-day event. I got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 boxes of cereal over the weekend. So
Nice.
thank you, people. Hashtag Kicks for Kicker is real. You're feeding me, and my pantry is full, and my child's teeth are rotting thanks to you, wonderful human beings. But thank you. It is wonderful.
That kid was going to get sugary cereal whether they
Yeah, I know,
helped you
right?
or not.
Right. But somebody did really good. I believe it was the Comals, Dave and Shauna. They got me Cocoa Pebbles, which I truly appreciate.
Was it the
So thank you.
special edition dark that you like?
It was dark chocolate Cocoa Pebbles, which is just now the standard label Cocoa Pebbles. But yes, it was glorious. So thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, it was honestly a wonderful weekend. Also, Mario from Utah came there. Like, this guy came all the way from Utah, and he brought me kicks in his carry on. So that was wonderful. So guys, okay, let's talk about some industry news. We have the new Warcry box set. It seems like this is unnecessary because I don't know anyone that plays Warcry. Unfortunately, the box set looks cool, and I want to play it. I don't know if there's a I guess it's more of a garage kind of game. You play at your home.
Yeah, it's a skirmish scale game, but I don't know any events that are running, so I think it's more of a hobbyist game.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to run Warcry at LVO, but I don't even know if there's a competitive scene at all. For
Chat,
this.
If you know of a competitive scene for Warcry, you probably need to get them in touch with Kicker.
Yeah, totally. Because
events at frontlinegaming.com, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Events at frontlinegaming.org, but close enough.
ORG.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I mean, I would like to run Warcry. I'd like to run all the skirmish games because I personally am starting to get more invested in skirmish games since that's just something that I can play now, considering my busy schedule. So the new Warcry box set, I believe it's $220. You can pick it up for, I guess, pre-order this weekend. We've also got all the new GW paints. They're finally on shelves at most stores. If they wanted them, they can have them now. Have you played with any of the new contrast paints? New shades?
I've picked up a few, but I haven't had the time to put them on models yet. But I am interested to try them because I think if you remember when we talked about speed paint with Adam Abramowitz, one of the critiques that we had for the GW contrast line was the kind of mixed consistency of the paint.
Yeah.
And I have been told the new contrasts are a lot more even in consistency, so I'm eager to try those out and see how they do.
So I've tried them out, and basically you can try them out too. If you go to a Warhammer store, most Warhammer stores, I believe they have 3 weeks of trial. I believe it's nationwide. If you go to a Warhammer store, they should have all the new contrasts and some of the shades out for you to be able to play.
Sweet.
And it's about 3 weeks of just like get used to them. So yeah, swing by your local store if you want to give them a shot. Yeah. I did get to go play with them, and dude, seriously, Seth, I was really impressed. I am kind of particular with my painting. I take a lot of pride in my painting, and I was really impressed. Some of the colors are way more vibrant, and I guess I don't really paint that bright in general, but some of the things were just like exactly what I wanted from the first edition of Contrast or the first run of Contrast. So go
vibrant, you say? My orcs are quite vibrant.
Yes, I could totally see you rocking some of that stuff. And the whites, I think it's like the Blight Lord gray, or there's a gray. I don't know. It's like apothecary white, but better. And that one was my personal favorite. So go check it out. All right. Also, dude, Black Library. I know you read Black Library. I read Black Library. Everyone reads Black Library. Well, now you get an opportunity to vote for a book you want them to bring back into print. Did you go check this out, man? Have you seen this?
I saw it today. They had like 5 different 40K novels and 5 different fantasy novels that were up for voting.
I saw 40K one with orcs. I'm sure you're going to vote for that one.
Well, it's where orcs are the enemy.
Yeah, well, they're always the enemy, except in like the one guys. There's one book. There's
2.
Book. Oh, there's
Brutal Buchanan.
Brutal Buchanan. You're right. Okay, there's 2 books, but yeah, I'm sure. I like orcs being the bad guy. They're a fun bad guy. So go cast your vote, and hopefully you get the book you want to come back from the Black Library.
Is there a particular book that jumps out to you, Kicker, that you would vote for?
I mean, I voted for the one with the orcs getting, like, I guess, murdered by the guard. But yeah.
Yeah, I have the Iron Hands one, the Wrath of Iron or Heart of Iron. It was good.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. It had like the cheesiest line ever, though, which I loved. Which the end is like a Iron Hand, battling a demon of like an Emperor's Children demon prince.
Yeah.
And it's like kicking the shit out of him, and it goes to like smash into his chest and tear out his heart. And he's like, I'll take your heart out. And he's like, I got rid of my heart a long time ago, and then like shoots it in the face. It's like the cheesiest line ever, but I was just like,
super like 1980s action film.
You got me, yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Seth, I have been kind of, I guess not in the loop. Is there any new rules leaks that have hit the more, because I have not seen anything.
There's been some unconfirmed leaks, and I'm not gonna bring those up because they're still pretty for demons, but they're pretty take them with a grain of salt. So I don't want to get people's hopes up,
Yeah. But
So,
we do believe it's demons next. After demons, it's probably guard, and then probably.
Well, I mean, the
squad.
GW has said it's demons.
It seems okay, so we're good. We can officially say this. Yeah, so demons are next.
The actual rules they haven't shown us much or got me anything that I can pretty confidently say you're going to get.
I was a little disappointed that the Demons Codex is not coming up for pre-order this weekend, so that means we have to wait.
I mean, I'm not horribly mad about a lull. I mean, 3 weeks ago they basically were like, "What if we just basically released a new edition and new missions, a new balance, and new points?" So I am not horribly upset if that's the case, because right now, data wise, the meta is doing pretty good.
It is doing amazing.
Let's enjoy it for a minute. Let's all just kind of bask in the glow of a balanced meta, and then they can throw something broken at us again in a month, and then we'll be like, ah.
I could care less about demons, but I know that the sooner the demon codex gets released, the sooner we get the guard. That's my whole thought process there. But okay, all right. Let's jump into a little surprise that we showed at the Lone Star Open this weekend. Yeah, I didn't even know about this until the day before. We were a couple days before, but the brand.
I was like, don't lie to me, Kicker.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, the thing is, like,
Kicker knows everything.
All right. Well, I don't know. I must have missed the email from the warehouse team, but yes, we are now releasing the brand new full color corrupted sets. This is a brand new terrain set that we released as a sneak peek at the Lone Star Open. I think the stream table and a few of the top tables played with it. Yep. Did you see it on stream, Seth?
I did. It looks like you guys even had multiple sets.
Yes. Okay. So this train is going to be themed around, of course, the chaos, and of course we had to go and appease all of the gods, all 4 gods. So there's one for each different colorway, and there's a matching mat. So you get this cool corrupted mat that has different color accents to match.
I could also throw our tech priest for a loop and get a picture of this terrain up to him.
Oh my gosh!
You keep vamping.
Let's see if
you give it to me. Because I was actually looking at the same time.
See if you can get a photo of this. I know that we posted a bunch of photos on the Facebook page over the weekend. But yeah, it is a really cool set. And honestly, man, that wasn't my aesthetic, but everyone was raving about it. And more importantly, the most competitive players at the game, at the tournament, came up to me and said, "This is probably the single best terrain set we've had yet for like a balanced."
It's so set. Good. Like I have to say, like
people
it's so good.
Love it.
So as soon as the tech priest can get the image up, you folks can see it. But it is a significant improvement over the old 8th edition design terrain. Mm-hmm. Not to say that the 8th edition stuff you couldn't play a game on, but this is definitely built with 9th edition in mind.
Yeah.
Which is very much appreciated. I like the variety of color because you guys are doing the pre-painted terrain. It just kind of was a natural fit to say, hey, let's do a color for each of the gods. I have shown a fair few number of the competitive folks, and there are definitely some folks out there. There we go. As you can see, it's got 2 L's, 2 kind of large ruins with an archway door, 2 little boxy ruins, a couple of crate stacks, and then these 2 area pieces of terrain on the table there. And then if you look in the mat, you said the mats are supposed to match, Kicker. Is there something in the background of the mat that might be interesting?
I mean, you're talking about the nice pink on this one. We got the
Slanesh symbol,
Slaneshi symbols going on there. Yeah,
and you guys had a Nurgle table there as well with the Nurgle symbol. So that was a cool touch.
Wait, I didn't realize that the pink stuff actually made a Slaneshi symbol. I just thought it was pink slashes on the mat. Like I stared at this symbol. Oh my gosh, I feel like an idiot. Yeah. Yes, but so apparently
it's a very balanced terrain set in terms of competitive play,
because it has the pieces that you were saying that are like could be light cover or but they could also be played as dense cover as woods, which is really nice. So you have all the terrain that can kind of
all the terrain has a base on it, because a lot of the rules now involve being within and there's always a ton of debate when people have no base on the outside of a ruin and you touch the outside of a ruin, like literally depending on where you are. I think WTC says that does not count as being within a ruin. FLG does, so you'll just get a lot of variance there. But having that lip stand out past the ruin is always a good call. So super excited to see this. I know I've got my orc set, and I love my orc set, but from a competitive standpoint, I definitely want to get a set of this too. When do folks think they might be able to see that in the future, Kicker? Do we know?
So this is going to be out probably in the next few weeks. I don't want to say probably after Cruise Hammer, most likely, just because we got a bit of a backlog. It looks like Tech Priest Sticky wants to say something.
I have another question. So
shoot.
People are asking for price point and shipping options, of course.
Specifically UK shipping options.
Or Canada. Right? No big deal.
So look
Is
on our
there
website.
someone in Canada that's interested? I don't.
No.
Is there anyone in Canada that we know that lives up
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Tech, please. So price will be very similar to what we've got already on our website. So if you go to our website, you can see other full color terrain sets. Between 170 and
I'll go get the
230.
real
I don't know,
price.
just around 200 mark for the full color set, right?
Yeah.
And you of course can get a matching mat with it, as we were talking earlier.
Yep.
I'm very pleased to say, because of the positive feedback in regards to this being not just beautiful but competitively, I guess the best we've ever done. This will be officially part of the ITC terrain series, and you're going to start seeing it at more and more of our events. I think that our team is going to be producing a lot of these and trying to get as many of these as we can for LVO, since the set is so balanced. So, Seth, if they do want to buy it, they can use our affiliate link, right?
They can definitely use our affiliate link. If you folks are checking the show notes on YouTube or in the podcast aggregators, that is a great way to support us here. Dickie and I volunteer our time, and Kicker's volunteering his time after a long day of working.
Thank you. I was late.
He was late because he was working. So we do this kind of out of the joy of our hearts. So any way that you guys can show your support through that is highly appreciated.
All right, dude. Let's jump into the I guess the event stuff. Maybe we should talk about the Las Vegas team tournament. That's coming up in September.
Fast.
Okay, so some people are not going to want to hear this, but I'm just going to say it. We're probably going to have to be removing the bundle ticket option down in the next week or two, because we need time to make all those objective markers. If you remember, we're making not just generic Las Vegas team tournament,
and you're making those in-house, right?
We're making those in-house at our factory, yeah. So we're going to have to get all the logos in place and then start producing these for the event. So we're going to be taking that bundle ticket down within the next week or two, and obviously that means you're not going to be able to get that super sweet deal on the rooms as well. So if you are even considering, get your bundle ticket now, because when it's gone, it's gone. We will have some individual tickets open for a while, but you won't be able to get those cool objective markers with your team's logo on it, and of course the savings for the room. So on top of that, I don't know about you, man, but have you ever seen like Ages? I know you don't really play Age of Sigmar, but Age of Sigmar teams, is that a thing? Do people do that? That's a thing?
Yes, there was a Age of Sigmar team event at ATC this year.
Oh, no way. Do you have any inside info? Like how many people were there? Was it?
I don't know how many people were there. They did a Saturday Sunday thing instead of a Friday Saturday Sunday thing. Like
teams of 5 or 8 or 3, or you have any idea? You have no idea.
I have no idea, man.
If you're in chat,
if you know anything about AOS teams, let us know, man.
Because I was asked this evening.
There is a request from Baccarat for Shrek and Donkey objective markers.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes. So I was just asked literally 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, about adding Age of Sigmar teams to this event in September, and that's a bit of a short notice. But I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess we could try and do that. So if you are interested, tell us in chat. You want teams at the Las Vegas team tournament in September, and we will try and make it happen. Let's jump onto Cruise Hammer. Cruise Hammer is next. We're going to be leaving on the August 7th is when the cruise departs. A lot of the Frontline Gaming staff will be on that cruise. So have a little bit of grace, guys, as we're not in the office for a week. We're just taking a vacation. The whole office,
They're taking a gaming vacation. Who does that?
Yeah, right. And yes, if you're watching the stream right now, you will see our lovely Cruise Hammer limited edition dice. Yeah, everyone on Cruise Hammer, every player is going to get 24 of these babies. Yeah, they're just beautiful custom dice we're releasing. So yeah, guys, if you don't get an email quickly responded to you while Cruise Hammer's taking place, just have a little patience with us.
It's not the Kicker's not trying to reply to your emails while he's on a vacation. It's just that internet can be spotty on a cruise ship.
That's why. It's the internet.
He's trying. He's really trying.
I am trying.
They're saying that it was teams of 4 for the AOS thing at ATC.
Wow. I guess because, correct me if I'm wrong, Seth, but you have the 4 major factions in Age of Sigmar, and so maybe
I don't know. I have no idea how they formatted that, man.
All right, guys. Well,
that would be definitely an interesting way to go, to say you needed to take a order, destruction,
one
death,
of each
and
major super faction. Yeah.
What's the other faction?
There's
chaos,
death, destruction,
chaos, death, destruction, chaos, and order.
Yeah,
we got it. We got.
It's like everything's bad except for order. It's just not.
Hey, Oryx are in destruction, my friend.
All right. And then finally, guys, we do have Socal coming up in October. Yay! Tickets are going really, really well for that. So I think Socal this year is going to be bigger than last year, which is a wonderful thing to share. So get your tickets. That is October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The 40K Champs will be just a Saturday and Sunday event, because it seems like that's really just a more popular format for a regional event like this. And the Friday before is a really sweet narrative battle, which is designed to try and get some of those competitive players to just do something fun that Friday beforehand.
Seth, I don't know if you're aware of this, but 40K players hate fun.
Yeah, right. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
they don't like it at all.
Seth, I know you probably can't make it to SoCal, but if you can, there's
There's
always a
there.
sofa in my Airbnb for you.
I may or may not be in Mexico shark diving that week, depending on
I-
what the Mexican Supreme Court
Are you
decides.
serious?
Yes.
Dude, that sounds way more. I mean, listen, I
My
love 40K, but
I have
shark
a
diving, come on.
longtime friend that has really wanted to go. He goes a bunch, and he finally convinced me to go. And the year he finally convinced me to go, there's some legal complications
Wait,
that may make it illegal to dive with great whites.
is this your boy Brian, the guy that
Yeah,
paints the Shark Army or whatever, the
yeah,
40K
yeah. That's
Caradons or
Brian.
whatever? Oh my god,
So
that guy is really like obsessed on multiple levels here. Like he is.
he goes shark diving basically every other year. So
That is so
he
sweet.
finally got me to go this year, and then of course this year Mexico was like, what if we made a law against it? So I basically what I'm trying to say is I'm planning to have time off around then, but it is reserved for shark diving. But if that falls through, maybe I'll make it to SoCal.
I would
I
love
was
to
gonna
see
have to
you
fly
there.
to California anyway.
There we go. Boom. There we go. So it's like basically you're there anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Seth, tell us what's happening in the FLGN, man.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, Val joined the team at Grim After Dark. I think they maybe had trouble finding a guest.
No.
Poor
Val
planning,
is, I mean,
poor
if you're gonna
planning
get
on
a
their part.
celebrity,
But Val's a great guest. I love him staying over there. If he stays over there, I love him.
are you saying you don't want him on our show?
He's not going to listen to this. But they did do a good show. I know everyone wants to talk about the LSO judge controversy. They made a very good statement over there, so you can listen to them for that.
Yeah.
The Killzone podcast put out another podcast that's only on the podcast feeds. There is a audio only version on YouTube, but that show is only through audios for the most part. So if you're looking for that, go check that out. That's always a great thing.
You and I are gonna play Killzone. I mean, Kill Team. I'm serious.
Killzone.
Killzone. Calzone, right? Now I'm hungry. All right, let's move along.
All right, let's get into the main segment. Kicker, there was this little thing called the Lone Star Open. Did you know about that this weekend?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Right, I've heard about it. So
well, we're gonna get into all the fun, who did what and all that jazz. But for now, Kicker, tell us some stories from the event, bud.
Okay, these are just little stories that apply that lessons learned from the Lone Star Open, things educational moments, and just things to talk about. So let's focus first of all. This is the second annual Lone Star Open. It was a military appreciation event. We've never done an event that was a military appreciation event, and it was phenomenally. Are you just like sitting here eating popcorn M&Ms or something like we're talking? I love it. All right. I need some more snacks here too. So. It was a military appreciation event, and I was blown away with like how pumped people are. I mean, to go to this event and support the branch that they served in or their family served in. Yeah. So there's a lot of I guess branch pride there, which is really cool. I am naive when it comes to a lot of military traditions and like rankings and hierarchy and whatnot. So I was lucky to have Red Powell there to gently lean on and say like, dude, who do I talk to? How do I salute? And also we had a POW table there to kind of show respect. And I'd never even heard of this tradition, but it was really cool. The judges, all of our judges were military, except for the Frontline Gaming staff judge, Jason Horn, who came in from Oklahoma to kind of help supervise the whole thing. But the regional Texas judges were all military from different branches. And they set up this really cool table in the middle of the hall.
That's not the table.
That is not the table. If you're watching the stream, that is us after we're done packing up and very excited. But but yeah, we did have this really cool table in the middle of the hall, kind of just show respect to the warriors that couldn't be with us.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
they have that tradition and they kept it going.
And we did this we also did you hear about the gift we gave to all the military guys? I don't know if we kind of kept this secret.
You had mentioned it pre-event, but you didn't say what the gift was.
So we did these really sweet bottle opener dog tags.
Oh, cool.
That we gave. Yeah, like all the guys that got them, like, wait, this is a gift. Like, really? This is awesome. Yeah, I had never seen them before, but I'm like, this is the perfect thing to hand out. So we had a lot of fun. The military all had fun. At the end of the event, I guess we'll talk about it later down the line about who won the branch versus branch championship. But let's jump into a few other little things here. First of all, guys, when you go to an event, it doesn't make a difference what event it is. It could be a Frontline Gaming event, another event, but don't, like, after the event ends, at least with Frontline Gaming events, but in general, most events, the event is over, scores are submitted, we move on with our lives. Don't call a judge after the event on his personal phone and kind of pester him and tell him that, oh, you wanted to change your score because you realized something. Like, everyone's gone home, awards are handed out, we've moved on.
The event's over.
And then don't bring your like significant other to then also give the judge a hard time on the phone too, because that just gets awkward. So yeah, guys, when the event's over, like if you really want to complain about something, like I'm putting my email out there, email me and I will try to appease you. But the judges work really, really hard, and at the end of the event, like let them go home and get some rest, please.
Yeah.
Another thing
the pause on that. Let's pause. There's been a lot of examples in the community over years where people, go home and they talk about the game with their buddies and they figure out, oh, I should have just done X, Y, and Z and got some more points.
Yeah.
But the reality is, that things are done.
Yeah.
My team after ATC talked it over and found some more points we could have gotten that final round.
Yeah.
But at that point, everything's said and done. And you don't need, importantly, this is a game we're playing. No one needs the accolades so bad. And the other thing is, imagine being that guy that maybe was up on the podium.
Yeah.
You got your prize. You're all excited. You're talking to your buddies. You're going home. You're getting pictures. To be called afterwards to be like, hey, we changed some points after the fact and you don't get that award.
Bring that trophy back to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geez. So yeah, it's awkward. I mean, guys, during the event, if you got a problem, you think there's something we got to change, like let's handle it then and there. But after the event and everyone's gone home, like
handle
let's
it
just,
at the time. But it's afterwards. It's what's
and if it is super pressing, just reach out to me as the organizer, the manager of the event, because I want to make sure you're happy, but I also want to like give our judges a chance to rest a little bit. Another thing, talking about, I guess, interaction with judges or ruling here is if you think there's anything, I guess, contentious about your list, or maybe something that you're not really sure how it's going to be ruled because maybe it's still iffy, or maybe it's a brand new rule, or you're not sure, and you're really betting on that rule, maybe before the event, just ask the judge. Like, there's no harm in asking. There's no stupid questions. Just ask it. That way,
and we do have a question submission link available pre-event, where you can submit those questions and judges go through and answer them.
Yeah.
So if there's, when there's all kinds of little rules, interactions, and just always good to know, particularly once it's in that document, it's in that document. And if your opponent is challenging you or something like that, you've got that document to say, hey, look, I asked it. Here's their response. That's how we're playing it.
This game is very complicated and there's a lot of rules. And if you think there's anything kind of even slightly iffy, just ask it, and then you'll have the response, and then you are good to go for the entire event, and no issues there. So just consider that, because that's something that it's only going to probably get worse as this edition continues to develop. Sportsmanship is better than it's ever been before. I was a little concerned, because rules are getting complicated, people get stressed out. I saw multiple times throughout this event sportsmanship just be done, just blown out of the water. Like, whoa, like what is going on here? BAO, there's some really awesome moments, but at this event, I think that there's moments that were probably just as good, if not better. There was that stream game that went a little sour, but the two players agreed on their own to take a tie. Neither one of them wanted a tie, right? Like a tie is worse than a loss.
If I could, I'd like to kind of explain a little bit more. I'm not going to explain about that situation. You guys can all find out more about it. There's a billion places to find out about that. But the important thing, there's two important takeaways there. One, everyone's human. Everyone made mistakes in that situation. And no one there had malicious intent. No one was trying to do something to hurt an attendee of the event. Yeah. And I know everyone is going to do their best moving forward to make sure that those types of things don't happen. But importantly, that Chaos Knight player that was involved in that scenario, this is like technical competitive stuff here, folks, but this was a large enough event where the Death Guard player he was playing against, I think it was maybe Nurgle faction technically, but I'm going to call it Death Guard because that's what Raid says.
It's easy, right?
If he won that game because of the ruling, it's a big enough event that there's going to be multiple undefeateds. There was 2 undefeateds, I believe, at the end of this event. So your battle points really matter in that scenario. And rules as written in the mission packet, if that Chaos Knight player were to have conceded on the spot from that ruling, it would have capped that Death Guard player's points at 60 points, which effectively, yes, you get a W, but that's a very low scoring win when some of the other top armies out there are like Necrons that are hitting 90s, 95s, 100s every round. So that Chaos Knight player took that ruling in stride. He did the right thing, which is you accept the judge ruling, even if you disagree with it. That's the standard across all events. That's not an FLG thing. That's just how you should behave at all events. He took the ruling in stride. He went back to the table and he wanted to play the game out with the Death Guard player so that player who was going to get a W at that point got a realistic score and got his best chance at at winning that event. Ultimately, with the way the judge rulings shaked out, both players, neither one of them wanted to see the other guy take the L, so they ended up agreeing to a draw, which was a very
because
and reality is
we had
that
to
took both
revert.
of them. Yeah,
We had,
that took both of them out of contention.
Yeah.
If they both agreed to a draw, they ain't undefeated anymore. So they're taking themselves out of that equation, and that was a really big thing to see those two players do.
Yeah, and the beauty is like there is no like childish throwing dice or frustration or angry, nothing towards the judges to the opponent. Like they handled themselves like adults, and it was honestly a beautiful thing. And I talked to both of them, and they're like, yeah, I would have wanted to win, but they were like proud, like the decision they made with their head held up high, and really just a positive attitude throughout the rest of the event after that. Beautiful to see.
Yeah. There's some folks that are still salty about how things happened, and I understand that, but at the end of the day, you go ask any TO, any judge at any event, and the ruling is the ruling. If you don't like it, if you think it's wrong, you can provide your evidence to say this is why I think it is. I had that happen at the RTT I went to this past weekend. The judge had ruled that I had a kill rig, which is a 16 model character, couldn't block for another character. And I disagreed with that. And I had my rule book and showed him where, and he changed his mind. But sometimes things aren't that clear in the rule books. And sometimes they have rulings that you disagree with. And if it's not clear in the rule book, you just kind of have to go with it. Like that judge also had ruled that if you table your opponent, the game ends at that point and you just going to score no more points. Which is not how I've ever played in any event, but I had to accept that. And I ended up losing out on a fair few battle points in one game because of it. But that was the ruling and I had to go with it.
Yeah. And I was just really blown away with how, these players, not just in this particular round of this match, but players really do listen to judges at our events, which is really nice. And yeah, everyone, including judges, sometimes get it wrong, but things were handled in a way at the end of the day that they were done with an adult mindset, not childish, frustration and pouting. There was like, okay, this sucks, but we're gonna move on. So I don't know. I was just really blown away with the sportsmanship throughout the entire event, and that really
Kicker.
makes
does that inspire you to try harder in the future and make sure everyone still has a great time at these events?
Yes. So I'm not going anywhere, guys.
Right.
Also, one little like interesting factoid here, guys. Yes, there are luggage carts throughout all these venues. You may not take a luggage cart and use it as your personal hobby cart, your model cart through an event. There were several gentlemen using luggage carts from the hotel in the convention center, and I was notified.
I really hope that there was an angry like concierge or bellhop chasing them around.
Bellhop, like what the hell? Like seriously, no. Like because you're wondering where all the carts were. Well, guess what? They're in the 40K hall, being used to carry miniatures around. So yeah, guys, use them to carry your luggage to your room, not to carry your models to the hall, and then the entire weekend.
Like we took it to the room and then we just kept it for the weekend.
Somebody took a luggage cart and hid it behind our like retail shelves with all the models, like the the miniatures in the box and stuff, like hoping that no one would see it and they'd be able to use it all weekend. But yeah, I have to say the MVT, the most valuable team of this event, was just the Hobby Goblins, guys. They're a team out of Jacksonville, Florida, that drove from Florida to get there early to help set up, and then stayed late on Sunday after the event to pack up the entire hall. Like, I mean, like I'm talking about, they just played a tournament. They're all players. They all played all day long. Yeah, and then they stayed late with Leo and Mike and I to pack everything up, make sure our truck was on the way.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Kicker, but one of those players was the player affected in that stream game.
Yes. So that's the thing is, not only were they helping us set up and strike, right? But they're also like competitive players. Some of these guys were really in the running, as a competitive player.
They scored real well at that event.
Oh yeah, and then let's give them a little pat in the back also, because they bring the hobby the hobby muscle.
They do,
there, right?
They do. In fact, we will see more of their hobby muscle. Shortly.
So these guys are an all around team, and the thing that's funny is they did it at Cherokee, they did it at ACO. Now they're doing a Lone Star Open. These guys are just traveling and helping us really.
Is it a further drive for them for ACO or LVO?
Oh my gosh! Oh, it's got to be LVO. Oh, yeah, it's got to be LVO.
We're gonna find out. Hobby Goblins. I need to know how far you travel.
I'm throwing the challenge, Hobby Goblins. I hope that you guys drive from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way to LVO and help us set up and strike. We would very much appreciate it, and it'd be really cool if we all caravan over together. Because I'll probably drive as well. Seth, you gonna drive? Or no, you're flying. You're flying.
I'm flying.
You're like none of this nonsense. Okay. All right.
Cool. I've driven to California once. Okay.
You do not
And this
want to
took me
remember
3
that.
days.
All
I'm
right, all
good. I'm
right.
good. I'm not doing that again.
Seth, do you want to read the results of the Lone Star
Yeah,
Open? Because this is pretty
we
interesting.
have a lot of results. Not only do we got the 40K results, but I went out and got AOS results, Legion results, and MCP results
Okay.
for y'all. So
Let's go quickly through them because there
I'm
is
gonna
a
do my
lot,
best.
but we
Yep.
got to talk about the 40K branches though, man. Let's can we talk about this?
Yeah. So yeah, you had the whole branch system this year, and so what you had a scoring a kind of a sort of like an ITC algorithm, like a score
Yeah.
algorithm for like we have for the season, but for those individual branches in that
When
event.
people bought their ticket, they selected what branch they wanted to represent. So then in our system, Jason
Yep.
Horn, our mastermind frontline gaming staff judge, created this cool algorithm, I guess, to help calculate which was the best branch. But we could also figure out which was the single best player for each branch. Seth, do you want to read out who was the best player for each
Yeah.
branch?
So Army, the top ranking Army player was Russell Tassin. Congrats, Russell. Air Force was Nichols Henry. Navy was Robert Hawkins.
Hobby
Do
Goblin.
I do
Yeah.
I remember correctly that he is the only Navy member?
Yeah, I think we have a photo. So we took a photo of all the different branches, and he's like the only guy holding up the Navy
Yep.
flag. He
And then
represents-
the Marine Corps was my friend and a wild man himself, Noah Bedom.
nice.
In terms of there was a new award also, not just the branches. There was a model player. Can you explain what that is, Kicker?
Yeah, so I decided to add a new award. It was kind of just that weekend. I'm like, you know what? I think there should be an opportunity for the head judge, the head regional judge. So in this case, it was Kyle from Texas, who is our head regional judge, to kind of do a his pick of the most sportsman player, the most representative
Yeah.
community member that was just a nice guy at the event that people enjoyed hanging out with and playing. And anyway, so he it's totally his choice, totally his opinion, and he picked Adrian Lopez. And we gave Adrian one of our really cool Wild West themed mats we created for this event. So really
Nice.
cool text.
Congrats, Adrian. Best painted went to RJ Harris.
Yeah.
Renaissance Man.
Dude, RJ Harris, he has got some serious painting chops. I'm just saying, like, I don't know where this guy came from because like I've not seen him like at SoCal. I did not see him, but like gorgeous stuff. We need to post some of his stuff online.
Yeah. Renaissance Man, which is kind of your best overall, if you remember, both paint and battle score.
Yeah.
That went to Jacob there. What team is Jacob on?
I believe he's the captain of the Hobby Goblins. Yes, he is.
Have you had a chance to play against Jacob?
Yeah, I play. Yeah, right. You saw the photos. Yeah, I did get to play. Jacob was really nice. He after we were done setting up on Friday, he's like, "Do you want to play a game?" I'm like, "Hell yes!" I really was looking for an opponent, and he just offered to play, which was great. He did kick my ass though, so I don't know if we can still be friends.
All right, and then getting into our best general ranking, number 3 went to Vasir Gainson.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 went to Brad Towson, and our number 1 was Marshall Peterson. Marshall's back on Necrons.
Yeah, right.
Marshall was an orc boy for a while, but he's gone back to being a Necron warrior.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe his final opponent was also a Necron player, right?
It was a Necron on Necron.
Yeah.
Who's the real Silent King?
Yeah, right.
That Spider-Man meme, but with Silent Kings.
All right, there we go.
And then Kicker.
Yeah.
The whole branch competition, there had to be a branch that won it all. Who was it?
Yeah. So for the first 3 rounds, it looked like Army was just going to win this for sure. And then at round 4, we found out that the the Marines took the lead, and Marines had the lead all the way to the end of the tournament. So
are you saying the Army ran out of stamina and the Marines outground them?
The Army, yes. Well, so what's crazy is the Marines ended up winning. So the Marines are now officially the Frontline Gaming branch champ for the rest of the year. And next LSO, we get to see, if the Army picks it up, or maybe the Navy picks it up for next year. So, or maybe the Air Force, The Air Force actually did a pretty good little comeback too.
But they did.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to some of the other events. I had a few of the TOs kind of fill me in. I really appreciate that, folks. It really helps me get this information out there. AOS was actually run by Gavin Greigar. You'll remember that name in a minute. He said they were using the General's Handbook 2022, which was fantastic. He had folks coming all the way from Southern California, Partners of War, and the Georgia War Bands. Their best general was Josh Bennett. Their red man was Cameron Pinkard. Their best sportsman was Jeremiah Gavlak. Then they had best chaos was James Fry. Best Destruction, Jacob Matthias. Best Order, Randall Brasher. And Best Death was Dylan Cochran. And now that I read this out and realize that I had all 4 super factions listed here, I should have been able to remember them a lot easier earlier in the show.
We're struggling, man.
Yep.
Clearly, we don't play Age of Sigmar.
I typed this earlier today. My brain did a lot of other stuff. No, chat's asking how my RTT went. I went 2-1.
All right, Seth. Wait, you brought your orcs, right?
John Quinnell in chat can tell you what happened. But anyway, Legion was a 52 player event, Kicker. Legion's on the rise, man. They're doing well. Their first place was Matt Bronson. Second place was David Hoffman. Third place was Alex Gregory. And fourth place was Colton Evans. Interestingly, the way they do painted, they have 3 different levels of paint.
Oh, wow.
So they had a best hero, which was David Rupersberg's Boba Fett. They had best squad, which went to James Russell's Rebel AA5. And then best army went to Drew Richardson for the CIS army. I actually had to ask what that is because I was like, man, I know Star Wars, but I don't know what that is. That is the droid army that Count Dooku commanded.
Just call it a droid army. Everyone knows what the droid army is. Jeez. All right.
Well, earlier I was like, what's a Sith army? And then one of my Legion friends was like, that's CIS. And I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, geez.
So now I know. But in talking to him, he said some pretty cool things happened. There was a B1 that rolled 7 natural crits on a drawback without an aim or surge, which is apparently statistically improbable. And then Lord Vader himself deflected 5 of 11 shots and wiped out an attacking clone squad to win a game.
Oh, nice.
So Vader's doing Vader things. Let's get into the Marvelous Crisis Protocol. Bit of a smaller event, 23 players. They had people coming from as far as Washington State, which is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
They did 3 rounds on Sunday with a cut, or Saturday with a cut to top 8 on Sunday, and then they also ran a little 3-round event for everyone that didn't make the cut on Sunday. The top 8 were playing for points to go to the Las Vegas MCP Invitational, with the winner of the top 8 getting an automatic invite. So the winner was Jesse Eakins. He won the main event, going completely undefeated. His faction was X-Men, and Storm was his leader. His 3 opponents on Sunday were all players that had previously won events themselves, already getting their tickets. So he had some really, really tough road to hoe there. In fact, his final game, he had a chance to take. He had 3 chances to take a single objective to win, and the first 2 dice rolls failed. And it was the literal last dice roll that got him that objective. So congrats, Jesse. Zach Cohen, he was our second place. He took Guardians of the Galaxy with Star-Lord as leader. He also was undefeated the entire event right up until he hit Jesse at the end. Third went to Mike DeLuca, running Convocation. They're the best painted army, or best painted model, went to Adam Lebo's Ancient Ones. Adam also won the Sunday RTT. And then their second best painted was Jesse Eakins for his Strange Supreme, aka the guy that won the event. So
that's a well-rounded hobbyist right there. Right?
He's got some hobby flex. And then third went to John Elson for his shield units. The TO really wanted to make sure I had a chance to shout out Greg Webster. Greg brought all but 2 tables to the event. He brought all the terrain. And then Jesse, the guy that won it and had the best painted model, or the second best painted model, brought the other 2 tables. So sounds like a great community. Sounds awesome. Like they had a blast. Really kind of sad I missed out on hanging out at LSO, Kicker.
Yeah, we missed you, man. It is pretty cool though when you have just to jump on the community, bring in the tables. They do that for Legion as well, and it's kind of fun because the tables are super
they're thematic,
very thematic, but they're almost like personalized. Like you never know what you're going to get, and each owner of that table puts so much love and energy into making it over the top gorgeous, and I assume it's functional as well, but I don't know the game. Seth, what's happening in the ITC? Should we jump?
Yeah, let's get over into the ITC recap. I'm not going to do much competitive news because we've had lots of things to cover already this episode. So if we get into the ITC recap, we have a little bit of a jumbling up here in our competitive track. The first 3 haven't changed. Number 1 still Vic VJ, number 2 Manny Chiba, and number 3 David Gaylor. But we have a new number 4.
What? Is that what I think it is? Is that an American?
That's another American. What? That is the redheaded stepchild of Artivore himself, Jack Harpster, squeaking into the 4th place spot, and Thomas Ogden bringing up the 5th place spot, meaning that finally I don't have to mention Innes Wilson on air.
Do we know what Jack or Thomas is playing? Do we have any idea what they're what
Thomas has been sticking with Tau. He was playing Tau pre all the nerfs, and then post nerfs he just basically kept trucking and smashing people. Jack is kind of as his name would imply, a jack of all trades. He tends to hop around. So, any given event, you don't know what Jack's going to be on. Moving on down to the 40K hobby track, our number one is Lee Steiger. Lee actually, I believe, came in third for overall paint. Renman at
Lone Star.
Lone Star. And then our Lone Star winner came in second, Jacob Thayer. JT Steiger coming in third, Jason Bird coming in fourth, and Kevin McCormick coming in fifth. Sliding on down to our AOS competitive track. Our number one is Anthony Trentinelli. Number two, Thomas Guan. Number three, our AOS TO, Gavin Greigar. And number four, Matt Beasley. And number five, Emma Mangles. And then hopping on down to the hobby track, we've got number one, Robert Snyder. Number two, Evan Markham. Number three, Matt Beasley. Number four, Carl Rohr. And number five, Matt Abbott. And that is your ITC recap of the week.
Dude, are you tired yet? You spoke a lot. Like you got. By the way, I have to compliment you, Seth. Your ability to read names is very impressive. I would butcher
it's my ability to remember them that is very poor.
Okay, well, because I'm looking at some of these names, like, how did you get that name from that? But I guess
I just confidently bash my way through it.
It sounds like you know your shit. So
I don't, but I try. Years ago, I was told "fake it till you make it," and look where I am now.
Aren't you like a kind of a teacher too, though?
Yeah.
So you just can speak all the time, and you know how to sound.
Oh yeah, I can lecture all day, much to the dismay of my students.
Do we have anything from the chat? Is there any pressing questions that need to be answered?
Yeah, chat. If you got any questions, get them in. Now's your chance. I'll pull up the whole chat window. I've been keeping an eye on it.
I always like to ask this once every 6 months or so in chat. Hey, where do you want your next event? I'm on the hunt right now. I'm on the prowl, trying to figure out where to go.
Kicker doesn't have enough events to run, folks. He needs more.
No. Well,
there is a question from Josh Hera. Can he rub Seth's head? Josh, you had your chance this weekend, buddy, and didn't take it.
That's between you and Josh. I don't know if that's.
He was upset that I don't mention him on air, and so he keeps annoying me in chat till I do.
Hi, Josh. Bring me cereal, and I'll talk to you as well. I'll mention you as well. The family size of Cocoa Pebbles, not the small
Kicker has needs. Hunter Nichols says next event Atlanta.
Oh, nice. Okay, so Atlanta's interesting.
And StatCheck says Toronto.
Okay, I'm not opposed to Toronto because that would be fun. Logistically, right? Like
it's like our tech priest has a vested interest here.
Oh, right. Is the tech priest part of StatChat? No, Atlanta would be interesting, but we don't want to step on any toes of established, communities. I know there's the Warzone group there, which is very, very enthusiastic of that area. Like I don't want to, step on anyone's toes. But if they want us there, we could. Also, Cherokee's really close. Cherokee's about an hour and a half away, 2 hours away.
Yeah, but Atlanta's a good fly-in town.
Yeah, but Cherokee's so special and fun, and it's like got that.
Yeah, I get it.
I know. Well, okay, but Toronto though. The only thing with Toronto that's weird is trying to bring all of our terrain across borders. I'm sure there's like some sort of customs thing we'd have to go through, right? I don't know. I have to look into that.
That's a tech priest and a Serval question. They're more experienced with that than I am.
How do we get a train?
How do we go to other country? Tell us.
Don't say Hawaii. I know Kelsey's always telling us Hawaii. Hawaii's just not going to happen unless you can provide the terrain. Sorry.
What if a really long cruise hammer that ended in Hawaii?
Really long cruise hammer. I'm excited to see how cruise hammer goes. This is such a weird concept.
Yeah, it's your first time going, right, man?
Yeah.
Is that the first time you ever been on a cruise?
Like since I was a kid, so I'm not really sure what to expect. Like I'm a cruise newbie here, and my wife's never been on a cruise, and my 2-year-old son, has never been on a cruise, obviously. So we have no idea what we're doing. Apparently, we already failed.
It's a Royal Caribbean, right?
It's a Royal Caribbean, but we already failed because we didn't book our excursions. I think that's what you do.
Oh yeah, you got to book those things in advance.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
and we're like today, my wife and I are looking on there. We're like, I guess we can, I guess we
go to the shore excursion desk when you get on the boat, and they always have slots. You can ask them.
Slots,
and then worst comes to worst, you just book when you get off the boat with some third party. Just means that they're not going to guarantee hold the boat for you if you get back late. Okay. You might miss the boat. But I hear Royal Caribbean has really good kids programs.
Yeah.
So
there's like a rock climbing wall and slides and all this stuff.
Yeah. You're so in short, while you're off playing 40K, your son can be in one of those programs, and your wife can do whatever she wants, and you don't have to waste wife
points. That is the game plan. Yeah. Although Oak, my son, will probably join us in the 40K hall at some point just to terrorize the tables. But
why not?
Why not? Why not?
All right. Well, I think that's all we've got for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts for the evening, Kicker?
No, guys, I'm just looking forward to seeing you at the next event, which may not be Cruise Hammer, but I'll tell you one of the things that makes it most exciting for me and the whole Frontline Gaming staff team. We had a new guy, Mike, that just joined our ranks. So, one of the things that makes us really excited when we're at an event is to see all the people, come and thank us and say hi. Like we were in tears. Like I don't want to get like I know we don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but we were almost like in tears after the event because it was so like sweet of how many people came up and said they had an amazing weekend. So guys, thank you. Your appreciation is very much welcomed, and we love seeing you all. Seth, why don't you take us out?
Yeah. Well, we thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Signals from the Frontline. We hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Good night, guys.